Hey guys, Manny back here with another video on the CascadeScents Fragrance Station, and this one of course is on my top 5 BYREDO fragrances. If you haven't heard of BYREDO, they are a luxury goods brand from Sweden who specialize in making fragrances, but they also do leather goods and other accessories among other things. I'm a super big fan of this fragrance house and their founder Ben Gorham, who bases his scents on his personal scent memories as well as historical periods and places. Just before I get to the list though, I want to mention that my BYREDO fragrances on this list are ones from the main line, so none of the Giant Eau-de-Toilettes or the Night Veils collection. Either of those lines are pretty good too, but I haven't had enough experience with either of them, nor do I own them, so they're not on this list. Anyway, let's finally get to my top 5 BYREDO fragrances, starting with this one right here. It's Oud Immortal at number 5. Now, Oud Immortal is of course French for Immortal Oud, and if you haven't smelled this yet, but you do know what oud smells like, yeah, it's a long-lasting oud scent. So yeah, I'd say that the fresh, juicy limoncello here doesn't last a long time, and for the most part, it's kind of reminiscent of the birch tar you find in Aventus. I'm talking about the oud and some of the smokier materials in here. Actually, if you smelled Club de Nuit and Talisman by Armaf, I'd say that that stuff does a better job of inadvertently copying this than it does most Aventus batches, which I find to be fresh lately. So overall, it's a relatively safe oud, and if that's something you're into, I would definitely give this a try if you haven't yet. Especially if you love woodier fresh scents like Aventus and don't want to wear that during the winter, but you want something a little bit more rugged that's not straight up barnyard stanky, then yeah, I would definitely at least try this. Overall, Oud Immortal is a great safe oud offering from BYREDO, and if that limoncello note lasted a little longer, maybe it'd be higher than number 5 on this list. Now moving on to my number 4 BYREDO, here it is. It's called Baudelaire. Baudelaire is an incensey, leathery fragrance for the most part, but it has a little bit of freshness from the spices and the juniper berries at the top, as well as some earthiness from the papyrus and patchouli in the base. Like, there's a leathery, jackety quality about this, but there's also a foresty quality about it too, which I furthermore appreciate. So it's a kind of leather fragrance that I'd like to rock most when I'm outdoors, kind of like during the spring or autumn. Also, I do dislike it when my spring or autumn frag shout too much, and thankfully this doesn't. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being piss poor projection and 10 being OG Tuscan leather, I'd say that this is a 7. And again, that's where I kind of want it to be. So yeah, you take that with the fact that it's an interesting, non-mainstream take on a leather fragrance. That's why it's my number 4, Baudelaire by BYREDO. Next up is my number 3 BYREDO, and here it is. It's called Mojave Ghost. Now, Mojave Ghost is a super jovial scent with that Jamaican Naseberry or Sapodilla opening, as well as the magnolia and the violet in the heart. I can't say I get a lot of woody notes out of this scent, but the sweeter notes definitely come alive on my skin. Like, to the point where the fruitiness and the floral nature of this scent just has a giant linear scent cloud. And thankfully it's a crowd-friendly scent cloud because I've been getting a ton of compliments with this over the months. So it's like a daring safe scent if I can call it anything, because despite how big this scent cloud comes off of, it smells relatively clean. And I'd say clean is pretty safe for the most part. But because it projects that much, I probably wouldn't wear it to an office gig. So I kind of just reserved Mojave Ghost for those days where I want to come off as super extroverted, yet super safe, yet interesting because nothing else smells like this. And I'd say it's worthy enough for my number 3 spot on my best BYREDOs list. Next up is my number 2 BYREDO, and it's Vetiver Freak. Now initially, I was actually trying to go out of my way to dislike this fragrance. I was being a hater mainly because besides pulp, this was one of the BYREDOs that a lot of people in the fragrance community were talking about, and I thought it smelled pretty weak off of a scent strip. But at the behest of a fan of the scent, someone recommended that I actually go to the store and spray this onto my skin, and I haven't looked back. Like right here, BYREDO nails making a more femme, if not more unisex vetiver scent. It's kind of what I was looking for because I'm kind of tired of the seemingly more macho and conventional takes on the vetiver note. Like, along with that light vetiver in the base, starting at the top you have some of those sweet citruses as well as that African marigold, and to me it's to die for. Anyway, I'd also say that this stuff definitely lives up to its name. It's based on avant-garde Paris in the 1920s who had a slight obsession about African culture, and yeah, they made a really colorful scent here as a result. And overall, you take that storytelling and you take the fact that it's a really safe vetiver scent that doesn't go macho, which is what I was looking for. That's why it's my number 2 on this list of best BYREDOs. It is Vetiver Freak. Now finally on to the number 1 spot, and if you've been watching CascadeScents for quite some time now, you'll know that this scent is not only the heart and soul of this list, but this entire channel in general. So my top BYREDO, and believe it or not, also top scent of 2016 coming into 2017, is this right here. It's Gypsy Water. Well, where do we start with Gypsy Water? It's a super balanced composition overall, which I love. However, just like Vetiver Freak, this is one that I find to be unimpressive off of a scent strip. It just develops pretty poorly, and it doesn't move from stage to stage as beautifully as it should if you were to spray it on your skin. So again, spray it on your skin. Here I definitely get that citrusy and woody opening, which transitions beautifully into a coniferous heart into a sweet and creamy base. I'd say that the storytelling here is also on point because I think it's a great interpretation of the nomadic lifestyle of the Romani people. So that's kind of what this scent is to me, and I love spraying it. It's just so good. So I'll leave it at that for my beloved Gypsy Water. If you guys want to know how I truly feel about this scent overall, I'll leave my review of it in the description below. And yeah, that's about it for my top 5 BYREDOs. Do you agree with my list of BYREDOs, or is Gypsy Water also somewhere on your list? Please tell me what your list is in the description below and how you feel about these scents. Also, please thumbs this video up if you haven't yet, as well as subscribe if you want to support more great fragrance content. And yeah, hopefully I catch you for the next one. So thanks again for watching, and take care as always. Peace out. Bye.